Today I'm going to show you how you can make your own spice mixes. Hi, welcome back to my pantry. Today we're going to be making some spice mixes. There are 3 that I generally use. I try not to buy them if I don't have to. It all stemmed from necessity, I guess. I didn't have them, so I thought, well, you know, these can't be that hard to make. I must have something here that I can whip these up with because I have tons of spices. And lo and behold, I was able to do that. So I'm going to show you how you can do it too. Here's my little setup here, and I have all of the spices that I'm going to need to put everything together. So the first one I'm going to do is taco seasoning. So for taco seasoning, we want some chili powder. So we've got some chili powder here. I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of chili powder. Now I don't usually, when I make this, I usually make what I need. I don't keep this stored, you know, on hand in jars. You can if you want to, but I just use it. I'm making a mess. I just use it when I need it, and that to me is nice because then I don't have to use the jars and the space to store it. So then we're going to do garlic powder. Oh my gosh, garlic powder, it smells so good. And this is my homemade garlic powder. I made this, and I can link the video above so that you can make your own. This stuff is so good, and I mean, it's so good. It smells so good. You just makes you want to just devour this whole jar of it. I like garlic, so this smells so delicious. And same with the onion powder. This is onion powder. That was a ½ teaspoon, by the way. And you want another ½ teaspoon of the onion powder. Oh my gosh. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how great that stuff is. It's just, oh, so yummy. Okay, cayenne pepper. Now you can completely eliminate the cayenne if you want to. I'm only going to put about 1/4 teaspoon. My husband likes a little bit of heat in his, so I'm going to put that in there. And then some oregano. And so that was 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. Like I said, you can eliminate it if you want to. You don't have to put it in there. And I want just ½ teaspoon of oregano. So this would be really good for, like, you know, it is a taco seasoning, but you could use it in fajitas. Use it whatever you want, and, you know, put it in. I've used it in hamburgers before too. You know, mixed it up, put it in the hamburgers, made the hamburger, and it tastes so good. Okay, so now we want paprika, but I only want 1 teaspoon of it. So let's get 1 teaspoon of paprika. Whoops, my light went out. There we go. And then we want cumin. Cumin is going to give this a really nice smoky flavor. I love cumin. So we want 3½ teaspoons of cumin. This tastes good in a lot of things. And 2, I'm going to eyeball 1/2. Oh, it smells so good. I love the smell of that. Alright, and then salt. We want 1 teaspoon of salt. You can put as little or as much. You know, if you want more, go ahead and, you know, put more if you'd like. Or you can put this in here and then just season your meat. You know, taste it and season it as you feel you need it. Okay, and then for pepper, I'm also going to do 2 teaspoons of pepper. Actually, since I put the cayenne in there, I think I'm only going to do the 1 teaspoon of pepper in this. I may add more when I'm cooking with it, but I think that's fine. Okay, so then we're just going to mix it around. Get this all mixed up. Get my other spoon here. Look how pretty that is. And this makes a little bit here. You're not going to use this whole thing. when you make your tacos. What you want to do is you want to use 1 to 2 tablespoons per pound of meat. And oh my gosh, this smells so good. Really good. You can store it in a jar as long as it's covered, when it's sealed, and you want it in a cool, dry place. You don't want to put it where it's going to get any humidity or any dampness. And this is going to last you a while. So I'd say it lasts you 3 or 4 months. So that is taco seasoning or fajita seasoning. Now the next one we're going to do is sloppy joe seasoning. That is probably the one that I use the most because we like sloppy joes. So for that one we are going to add a tablespoon of onion powder, and my onion powder, I love the smell of this. Oh my gosh, I wish this was like smell-o-vision, because I mean, oh my gosh, it smells so good. You can just smell that all day. Okay, and paprika. We're going to put a tablespoon of paprika. Now you can, here we go again with the mess. And now we want some garlic. More garlic powder. So we want a teaspoon of that. I'm running low, folks. Means I'm going to be dehydrating some more garlic. And like I said, I have a video on all of that, so I can link that above. Chili powder, more chili powder. Okay, so this is 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Oops. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. And a teaspoon of dry mustard. In here. If you have any of these things on hand, I mean, it's worthwhile doing this because you're skipping out on the MSG, you're skipping out on the fillers, you're skipping out on all the preservatives and salt and all that extra stuff that is just so not good for you. Speaking of salt, it's a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to measure that in the palm of my hand. You have control over those kind of things, I guess, is what I need to say. You know, you're not using a whole ton of it because that's what they put in theirs. And I don't know about you, but I really watch that intake. That was a half a teaspoon of pepper. And the next ingredient is celery seed. I don't have celery seed, but I do have celery powder. And I'm telling you, this stuff is great. You can put celery powder in a lot of things. I put it in roasts, I put it in soups and stews, I put it in my tuna fish sandwich and mix it in with my tuna or my chicken salad sandwich. Oh my gosh, it's just like you put celery in there. It's so good. So let's get this stirred all up. Look at that. Smells like sloppy joe to me. So let's get this into a jar as well. Look at that. You can certainly double up on the recipe if you'd like to. This is just 1 packet of tacos or sloppy joe seasoning, so you'd want to use this whole thing in your sloppy joes, and it smells amazing. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is onion soup mix. That is a really versatile one as well, because you know, you are always using onion soup mix in roasts or dips, and I can't get this off. It can be used in a lot of different things, and it's just a really nice soup to have on hand. But if you don't have it on hand, you can make your own. Okay, 2, 3, there's 4 tablespoons. That's about 1/4 cup. 1/4 cup of, or 4 tablespoons of minced onions. And I usually have my own, but I don't have any. I've been so out straight these last few days, and it's been crazy, as all of you know, with everything that's going on. So I need to dehydrate some more onions for sure. Okay, so now we're going to do some, this is just beef bouillon, but it's in powder form. So I want 2 tablespoons of that. You could always crush up some bouillon cubes. That works too. We got 2 tablespoons of beef powder. This is literally all I keep this on hand for. I have bouillon cubes that I never use because we use the paste, but this I keep on just specifically for these recipes. So we need onion powder, more onion powder, and we want, oh, that's my garlic. That smells so good. Okay, the onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon. Great when you can actually know what you're putting in here based on the smell. The stores, you know, they don't have as strong as a smell as if you make it yourself. Okay, parsley. You want 1/4 teaspoon of parsley. Some parsley here. I think parsley just looks good in a lot of things, so I like to add that. And again, need some celery seed, but I don't have celery seeds, so I am going to use celery powder. And it's calling for 1/8. You can use celery seed or celery powder. To me, it tastes like celery, so I'm going to use it. So you only want 1/8 of a teaspoon of that. And then you want 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. And I only have 1/4 teaspoon here, so I'm just not filling it all the way. And paprika, you want 1/8 of paprika. And then 1/8 of garlic powder. Oh, I love this stuff. Or more if you like a lot of garlic. And let's stir this up. Oh my gosh, that smells so yummy. I love making these. I love making them. I know exactly what is going into this. You know, and when you make a lot of this yourself, it makes it even better. So, oh, that smells, I mean, that literally smells like you tore open a packet of Lipton onion soup. It's great. So I'm going to get a bigger jar and put this in it. Okay, let's get this in here. And that's all there is to it. Look how easy that was. We have onion soup mix, taco seasoning, and sloppy Joe mix. Try these. I mean, most of us have this stuff in our pantry, and honestly, if you don't have all of the ingredients, play around with them. You know, try adding your own little spin on things. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. If you're new and you haven't subscribed, you can do that below or right here in the corner. There's a little subscribe button there, so do that. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate your support. And let me know where you're from in the comment section below. I love hearing from you. I do new recipes every week just for you, and they're delicious, I promise you. I know because I've tried them all and I love them all. So you need to try them too. And thank you for joining me here at Mimi's Pantry.